All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hornets Live, presented by American Pie Pizza. Thanks to everyone here and everyone watching live on the Natural State Sports Network. And we're going to be right here at American Pie Pizza every week for the regular season, talking with Hornet coaches and players. And just a reminder that every Tuesday night here at American Pie Pizza, it's $2 Tuesdays. Get $2 off a 14-inch pizza. And who knows what other specials Tamsy's going to get surprises with throughout the rest of the season. So get over here to 9709 Maumelle Boulevard and join us for Hornets Live and $2 Tuesdays. All right, Coach, we've got a little different setup here tonight. We're a little more, I don't know, we've had three different setups now, and I can't decide which one I like better. Yeah. We tried to make it a little more friendly to talk so we don't have to feel weird about looking over our shoulders and stuff. So
sure, I kind of see you and the monitor at the same time.
Yeah, so now when I say look at the highlight, you can actually see the highlight instead of having to, break your neck. So, but excited to be here again at American Pie Pizza. We've got the Bacon Ranch Pizza, and I think those are honey barbecue wings, I think. So that's what they smell like. They smell really, really, really good. So, all right. Well, let's get into things here, Coach. Tough one last week against Vilonia, fall to 1-2 on the season. But unfortunately, the story from the game isn't about what a great game it was. It's about the comments that were made during the broadcast. And I don't want to spend much time on it. You and I talked about this before. It's going to play itself out, how it's going to play itself out. I think what needed to be done has been done. And so I just wanted to give you an opportunity and us an opportunity to kind of talk about it for a moment and then move on.
Well, it's like I said when KRK called me yesterday. The situation's unfortunate. It was two good football teams played Friday, and down to a 2-point game. It was a real good game to watch. Even if you didn't have anybody in the game, and both teams conduct themselves on the field with respect. I think all the players on both sides have respect for one another. Coaching staffs for sure do, and for something like this to be something that's making the news and talked about, it's unfortunate. What I told them was, for a grown man doing commentary to talk about a student athlete, it's very unfortunate, and I hate that it happened.
Yeah, and I'll just, from my perspective on this, this has been a relatively new endeavor for us, for our crew, for Natural State Sports, and we've been fortunate, to be able to partner with you guys, and we're blessed to be in the situation that we're in. And what I'll say is I get it from the side of a hometown broadcast. You guys that listen to us, I think, you enjoy our biased side of how we bring Hornet sports. But it's also, and Andy and I talked about this too yesterday, you can be extremely biased towards your favorite or your home team, but be very respectful of the team we're playing.
Sure.
And I think that's the key. That's what Andy and I try to strive for in every broadcast. Sure, we've had fun with some nicknames and different things that kids were aware of and that they enjoyed. And so it's, but to use your platform in that scenario to literally trash a kid and talk down to someone is just not what we want to be doing as broadcasters. It's not what we want to do. The whole goal of this is to continue to highlight the programs, not bring other programs down.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So we're going to move on to that. From that, I think we've washed our hands of what we've done with it. It's made its way through, and what comes of it comes of it. Let's get back to football, and let's get into highlights, because regardless of any controversy, you said it. It was one heck of an entertaining game to watch. It was a lot of fun for Andy and I to call. I think at one point I might have punched the ceiling of the press box on a touchdown call. So it was a lot of fun. Game didn't exactly start off great, not just for you guys, but for us. Thankfully, I think maybe, though, our stream went away on the kickoff return right as he's about to round the corner. 89 yards to open things up by Cannon Bartlett on the opening kickoff for Vilonia. That might have been a little bit of a gut punch.
Well, that's about the worst start you can have, and up until this point, I thought our special teams had been, really a strength for us. We spend a lot of time with it. It's something that I take very seriously. I've got a defensive coach's background, and I've always had some part in special teams. Of course, being the head coach, you got to oversee it all, and that's a big L on my part. And my part with the special teams and everything, especially our kickoff unit. We have some of our best players. Actually, all of our best players, or all of our best tacklers, our best defensive players are on kickoff. We don't hold anything back on that, and we did not do a very good job on that opening kickoff.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious from the minute he touched it. It was like, oh no, this is going to be a big return, and it's special teams kind of became the story in this one. I know we'll talk about some other things, struggles with the offense and the defense. Everybody everybody, we're not blaming one part of the team or the other, but special teams was a little bit of the story. But after that, we give the ball back to Vilonia on our first drive, but then Maurice Mosby has a huge pick six of Austin Myers that would tie things up again. Unfortunately, our stream missed it, but hey, it worked out great for you guys to tie the game up at 7, and I think that was a big piece for the defense, especially as well as they played in the first half.
It was an answer, and that's the thing about our defense. They're capable about this all the time. We got a lot of playmakers over there, and they try to throw a quick out, trying to get the ball out quick, so our D line cannot cause big problems for them, and they got it out quick, but Maurice read it well and jumped the route, and he was untouched in the end zone.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you go into the game, and a lot of your preparation was, around Austin Myers. He's a very talented kid, a very talented quarterback, and so you got to feel the defense got to feel pretty good in that situation. To first pass is a touchdown going our way.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and especially to answer that opening kickoff. They get out there and they answer it with points. Anytime your defense can score, that's a big shot in the arm to your team.
So Vilonia would score a couple more times there in the first half. They'd get up 20-7 on us, and then the Hornet defense would strike again as Max Pace picked off another pass, and I think you've got the video there of that as Max Pace got his first pick of the day. And it would be a big one, as it would be a pick six to get us back within a score. And this would be the second turnover of the first half, second interception of the first half, and the defense was really kind of taken up for some of the slack that the offense was leaving out on the field there.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, we have playmakers over, in a lot of positions on defense, and Maxwell's a 3-year starter, and, he's being where he's supposed to be, and he's got good hands, and, maybe we need to bring him over to offense and run him at receiver a little bit, but that was a heck of a return and again, answering the bell.
Yeah, I thought Bartlett had him for sure there right after the pick at the 30, and then he was able to break free and find his way to the end zone, made a couple good moves there close. It was a great job. And that was, I think for us in the booth for sure, and I think for everybody else, I think we felt it was a big turning point. I think in the first half we could have easily found ourselves down big to this team, but the defense just continued to answer the bell.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we didn't have a good half offensively. I mean, that's was pretty obvious. And, the defense coming up with those two really big plays, kept us in the game. And also, that Maxwell's play especially kind of flipped the momentum. We felt okay in the locker room at halftime. We felt like for as bad as we played offensively and on special teams, that opening kickoff, here we are, we're down by score. We've been here before. This is not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think our next highlight clip we've got is going to be Trevon Rawls with his interception. I think that's his first of the year. But the big piece of this, and you can see it, a guy that was playing in place of Harrison out there, Richard Johnson got good pressure. I don't know if you can play that back again there, put some extra work on you, Will, but something that you see Johnson get great pressure up the middle and force that throw maybe a little early, which helped get the interception.
Well, we've had 4 guys out this past week. We had 4 diagnosed concussions. And, I like the mentality, especially on defense, that, the next guy steps in there. Richard Johnson's a senior. He's an undersized defensive lineman, but he's really put in the work, and he brings a skill set of speed and quickness. Even though he's undersized, when he's asked to pass rush, he does a really good job for us. And really that pressure in the ball got the ball out in time, or got the ball out sooner than the quarterback wanted to, and allowed the corner to make a play on it.
So after that, we're not able to score, but it was, again, a big piece because, as you said, the offense kind of struggled and sputtered in the first half. So we go into the half down 20-13. Like you've already said, it felt pretty good just to be in that position. And then after a turnover and a special teams mistake to open the second half, Vilonia would extend their lead to 27-13. At this point, what's the message to the team down 2 scores in the third?
Well, I can't say everything that was said.
Probably a good idea.
But I'll say this, the adjustments we made offensively at halftime, after that play, we really started to execute offensively, and it was like 2 different teams. Mm-hmm. I really wish that, we would have had our heads on right sooner. I really wish that we would have picked this up sooner, but, we did at that point start executing offensively, and, it's unfortunate our defense was on the field as much as they were prior to that, because if we would have been able to flip that switch earlier, I really feel like it had been a different game. I really feel like we could have taken off on this.
Yeah, I was going to say the message was received. The offense would finally get on track. An 68-yard drive that was capped off by this great touchdown catch by Dez Williams. And I want to talk about Dez a little bit. Obviously, we'll get the clip up here. This is a great play by Dez to go up and get this and make a big touchdown catch. And thanks to our buddy Kevin Miller for the extra video there on top of our stuff. But great catch by Dez, and I think I mentioned it on the broadcast too, but getting a guy like Dez going with his size as opposite of what we've already seen Rod doing, that had to have been a little bit of a pick-me-up for the offense too.
Well, I've known Dez could do it for a long time, and the thing is, there's a couple things that go on that play, even earlier in the drive. Weston Pierce made a really good read on that, knowing he's got an isolated route and he's got a corner that's got too far inside leverage. And so we utilized the space we had out there and threw a 50-50 ball with space, and we like our matchup there. We like our matchup with Rob. We like our matchup with Dez against most corners. And a lot of that comes with the pre-snap read, and then we have a run called, so this is an RPO, but, we got the matchup we wanted, and we executed it well.
Yeah, I think obviously everybody might have been looking the other way on that too. I know I was. I said, well, maybe expect the fade to Rod the other way. So it was a great call, great call in that opportunity to find Dez. And you made the point too. Dez had another huge catch on that drive that was a big play to get you guys down the field. We'd missed the extra point, which would turn out to be maybe a big missed extra point there. But and Vilonia would score again to open the fourth quarter and extend their lead back to 2 scores. But we'd answer quickly, and this is kind of when the two-headed monsters and running back got going between Candler and Crawford.
Well, absolutely.
This run here is pretty impressive for Crawford. I thought did a good job bouncing outside and then finding the corner, and we thought he was going to go there.
Well, what I liked about this is we've really struggled with inside zone this year, and that's a staple for us. And so that particular play, we hit the cutback really good, and then Jason made somebody miss in the secondary, and it became a larger play. We look for our inside zone to be, it's a 5 or 6 yard play when we do it right, and then, for it to be a home run like that, that took some wheels from Jason, and, our offensive line executed the plays, and then, the running back made somebody miss. An offensive lineman like that when they get to the secondary and make those guys pay a little bit.
Absolutely. So then after Crawford breaks the long run, Candler punched it in from 11 yards out on this play, and got to be proud of, again, the running back group and how they stepped up with a big night.
Well, absolutely, especially with that first half being the way it was, and they kind of stymied our run game. We kind of got us behind the chains and doing some predictable type offense because we were behind the chains. The second half, especially those 3 drives that we scored on, we look like ourselves, and I think it's a learning opportunity, for us to make adjustments on the fly and be able to put them in and not have such a delay.
Yeah, you guys, like I said, after that, the defense really stepped up again. A big stop to get Vilonia off the field, and finally connect on one of those big downfield plays as Pierce was able to find Brookhagen for this 49-yard touchdown. And I was really surprised to see Brooks so open.
Well, we know how much of an athlete that John is. I mean, he's our kicker. He does a lot of things, and if you watch him run, you may not think that he has the best technique in running. He's a little lanky. He's a little bit unorthodox when he runs, but, he's one of our fastest runners, and you wouldn't know that just watching him run. And I think that their free safety paid for that. I think they thought he was a decoy route or something like that, and we really got them to overplay our other 2 receivers, and John was wide open, and then nobody could catch him. That was a big play for us. That was a home run. I just wish we'd got one more chance.
Yeah, and we were close. The momentum definitely found its way to the Maumelle sideline. I know we had the windows open in the press box. We're trying to help the fans get loud. But unfortunately, a big 4th down play, Vilonia was able to convert there late with a couple minutes left, and then obviously able to take a knee and hand us that tough 34-32 loss. But got to be proud of the team, though, after this loss. We talked about it last week, and we'll talk about it plenty as we get through this next week. But, this is still, this time of the year is when you're learning about your team. And so I think you learned a lot, really fight and grit about this team and how hard they played to stay in this game, especially when you think about the Robinson game the week before where you had such a big lead and you let it slip away. This week you get down a little, but you continue to fight and had a chance at the end.
Right. I mean, I think there's been a little bit of a snowball effect to the way that Robinson game finished. We've been practicing on grass, an unpainted pasture of a practice field, which it's really hard to practice on, but it's even more harder to practice special teams on.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that rear its ugly head in the Vilonia game. We had a kick returned, and then we missed 3 extra points. And I don't think that happens. We're practicing on a regular field. That's no excuse. I mean, I tip my cap to Vilonia. They beat us. But you have 4 guys out. You don't do special teams very well, and they beat you by 2. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt our, what we want to do this year. Obviously we want to win every week, but it doesn't really hurt the end goal. And I think we can learn from it.
Yeah, and you're right. I think that the learning, too, is obviously you had some very fixable mistakes in that game. Some things that, we've talked about some of it before we got on. We talked about some of the personal foul penalties and the different things that got called in the game that, those are things that obviously you want your team being aggressive. You want them playing hard. You want them playing until the whistle. And things happen in a game, but those are things you can clean up. We lost a fumble there with Watts moving down the field there early in the game. Those are all things that are easily correctable. So it's not – you guys know you're not far off here.
Right. And that's the thing about non-conference. That's what it's for is, get everything cleaned up and, you'll make some mistakes and you got to learn from them because, you make mistakes in conference ball, it's gruesome. And so you want to have everything clean by the time you get to conference ball.
All right, Coach. We're going to wrap things up, take a break, and when we get back, we're going to be joined by our offensive and defensive players of the game.
He was ready for it, and the Hornets are there. And Nico cleans it up at the 25.
He's ready to go. Takes the snap around the 15, fakes the handoff over the middle, picked off.
That ball's going to be intercepted. That is Pace with the pick. Pace breaks the tackle. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, cuts back inside, 5. Touchdown! Hornets!
Is right. Myers fakes it.
Now looking blitz coming up over the middle. Should be picked, and it is. Intercepted by the Hornets. The Hornets get their third pick of the first half.
This time they'll give it to Hunter. He's got a seam.
The Hornets were ready for it. As Nico's all over that one at the 40.
Drags it. Coming back to him.
They'll fake it now to Bartlett on the outside. The Hornets are ready for it. Got to break down, make a tackle, and they will. Great job by the defense there.
Charlie Fox went out of bounds, but okay. They'll hand this note right up the middle. Hornets are ready for it as that is going to be Murphy in the backfield at the 30. Hornets are ready. Now looking. Right Myers as they come to get him now.
Got it. Mosby in the backfield. Now you want the timeout. Now you got to call the time.
Candler will go to the right side of Pierce. They'll hand it to Candler. Candler right up the middle. Big seams.
He gets across the 40. Now spins out to the 45, 46-yard line. And
gives this one to Hunter.
and now get McClure out there. Throws him out of bounds.
Skylar McClure with Myers. Hunter behind him or to his right. That's where they're going to give it to.
The Hornets were ready for that one as they stacked that one up.
Jesse Knight. 11 is none. Yeah, it is. Just did. Myers looking, now throws quickly to his left side, caught, and
what a tackle.
Hello.
Woo! Is that Epperson?
Yes,
sir. It's Epperson with the big tackle.
Punish.
Pierce fakes it, now looking, wants Dez in the corner. He's got him back there. Dez goes up, he's got it. Dez with the catch. Touchdown, Hornets.
About time we got on the board.
Looking right, quick throw, and dropped it. Epperson was ready. He heard Epperson coming.
Oh, they're going to stick with the call.
Right up the middle, the Hornets were ready for it.
And this one up the middle, that's going to be a first down for Crawford and Morris. He gets the corner, left side across the 40, 35, 30, 20, and pushed out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. A big run. Pierce. Bringing blitz off the right side, gives it to Candler.
Candler finds the seam inside of the 5, and touchdown, Hornets.
Hand it to Hunter. Hunter looking to the right side, trying to get outside, and look at
Jesse Knight right there, make a big play in the backfield.
Jesse Knight was looking, wanting to throw.
Lost it up, got Brookhagen. Brookhagen's got it to 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hornets.
Yes, sir. Back in this game.
All right, welcome back to Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza, presented by Natural State Sports. I want to take a minute to mention the official sponsor of the Maumelle Hornets, Dio Vanucci and Cornerstone Home Lending. In this real estate market, it's imperative you work with the best lenders to ensure you are in the best position possible when making an offer. Dio and his team will ensure you have a great experience from kickoff to the closing table. Text Dio to 36260 and get your home search kicked off today. On that note, if you know anybody, if you guys listening, watching, know anybody looking for a house with a pool in Sherwood, let me know. Got one coming. So, yeah, you guys will be looking for that in a few years. All right, so joining me now are our offensive and defensive players of the game, running back Jason Crawford and safety Max Pace. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
Good. All right, so Jason, I'm going to start with you. 14 carries, right at 80 yards, averaged over 6 yards a carry, and congrats on another solid game.
Thank you.
So we've talked about the first half a little bit. You guys were struggling. What do you think led to some of that in the first half? Was there maybe a little bit of complacency from the game before, or were we just not executing? What do you think led to some of that there in the first half?
We just a team that, we can get it going. We just got to already be locked in. Sometimes it take us a minute to get going, but when we get there, we good.
So you're not the only guy that's in that running back room that's finding success. Jordan Candler also picked up 80 yards in this game, averaged over 5 yards per carry. Talk about playing with such a talented running back room, and we're not even talking about Waits, who hopefully will be able to return this week as well.
I mean, it's I learn stuff from them. So, whenever I'm not in, I see what they do. I be like, I'll use that, I do that. They help me better them, and they better me.
What do you think you bring out of the three guys? What do you think you bring different that makes you as successful as you are?
Really, if I was just skinny like them, they'll outbeat me, but I just got the size.
Okay. The size is, that's a big plus. It helps. Obviously, Waits is the little guy. Crawford maybe can squeeze through, but you're just going to kind of bowl over some folks.
Yes, sir.
So I know we were talking about it a minute ago, and I'm going to mix Will up here because I don't have it in there for you. But if you can play that video here in just a second of your big run in the second half, it really kind of got things kicked off. I mean, we were kind of making some plays, getting back into the game, but you had the big, I think it was about a 36, 37-yard run there, and this is what I'm talking about, to get us down into scoring, into position to score. Talk about that play a little bit.
So that play was 42. So on that play, it's kind of like a counter. The line blocks to the right, and I cut left. So I seen one defender right there. I seen a linebacker, and then I seen a corner. But they were both back, so I was like, I can make one cut, and I can go. So I just made my little cut, and I took off.
Well, it worked. It was a big play. Definitely got us in position, and Candler was able to kind of close things out, but a big play there. Through 3 games, you're sitting at just over 200 yards rushing and a touchdown while averaging right at 5 yards a carry. What do you think has been the key to the success so far?
I just been working, just been staying in the lab, and I got 2 good running back coaches, a head coach, and I got a good defense that I go against in practice. They don't show me no mercy.
What's it like going against that defense? I think I actually have that as a question here, and I'll get to it here in a minute. But what's your first off? What's your favorite thing about playing running back?
You get to make your own play.
Okay.
When things get going, everybody look to run the ball instead of keep passing it. So when they down, you that guy.
Okay. And then, so we hear each week from these defenders that their favorite thing to do is hit. I know we're probably going to hear that from Max in a few minutes, but is there a guy on this defense you prefer not to get hit by?
I mean, I got pads on just like they do, but I wouldn't want to see my D-line, honestly, my whole D-line, CJ, Nico, Robin, if they come through clean, I'm over with.
That's some big boys. Talk about that, though. Running behind this big offensive line, that's got to help you out a little bit as well.
It feels good, just to know that you got trust in your line, that you're going to get 5+ yards off of them every time.
They're going to move people without a doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
So this team's been road warriors so far this season, and now we get the chance to head down to Shreveport. Is it exciting to get to travel out of state and represent the state of Arkansas this week?
Most definitely. I get to get out of town, put on for Arkansas. It's some different competition. Just getting us ready for conference.
All right. Well, Jason, I appreciate it. We're going to jump over and talk to our defensive player of the game, Maxwell Pace. Welcome, Max.
Well, thank you.
What do you prefer, Max or Maxwell?
I like Max.
Depends on the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, great game Friday night. 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 pass breakups and a pick 6. And let's just start with the pick 6. As you can see it up here. Talk about what you saw in this play and how big it was for the team.
I saw him going into the linebacker, So I'm just following over top, just hoping he overthrows him, and eventually just overthrew him. And as soon as I caught the ball, I tried to go back the other way, and he was just right there. And I tried to make something happen. I don't know. It just happened.
So is Coach right? We need to move you over to the offensive side, give you a chance with the ball in your hand a few times?
Yeah.
Whatever's best for the team, right?
Yes, sir.
So a huge play there. Was there a little maybe extra juice knowing you're going up against a quarterback that's as highly touted as Austin is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Want to prove something. So the first half defense seemed to set the tone, and really the most of the season the defense has set the tone, and you're able to hold Myers to just 105 yards and picked him off 3 times. How much did that mean to you guys on defense?
It meant a lot. It meant a lot to the people that did the work and got to that point where they could get on the field and show off what they have been working with and what they've been working on.
It was a lot of fun, and I go back to that interception too because it was funny. I know from our perspective, it was almost like, what do you do? Like as soon as he threw it, you knew that it was going to be intercepted. But to me, the more impressive part was the return. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
So something about you safeties this season, 3 games in, and we've had you and Jesse up here, and as our defensive players of the game. How much easier does it make your job knowing you've got a guy like Jesse across from you out there?
Oh, it's a lot. It's because you don't really have to worry about him. He just we trust each other. We get on each other back when we mess up at practice and stuff. So we better each other.
And you always know where he's at because he's always talking, right?
Yeah.
So
Most definitely.
Can't miss where he's at on the field ever. All right. So I probably already know the answer to this. We talked about it a minute ago. But what's your favorite part about playing safety?
Hidden and just being able to say, it kind of makes me feel I'm more in control on the field. I have free range and basically do what I want.
You get to feel like that enforcer a little bit back there. You're the
Yes,
guy
sir.
that, hey, if you find your way here, you're going to pay for it.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. That's the mentality you want from as a safety. You want a guy that, look, take it personal that this guy has made it into your area of the defense.
Yes, sir.
All right. So same question that I asked Jason. Road Warriors traveling across state lines. This is a really good Byrd team. Got a lot of speed. But how exciting is it to get to go represent the state of Arkansas in Shreveport?
Oh, it's very exciting. It's very.
It's pretty cool, too, to get to have it on TV where everybody will get to watch it, too.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right. Well, fellas, we appreciate you guys joining us this evening. And I know you're enjoying some of that pizza, and I think I see some more pizza over there for being our player of the game. And so we're going to let you guys head on out. And when we get back, we'll talk about the Brooke Brolo Agency catch of the game and talk with Coach Horton and preview this week's game with Byrd.
Yes.
My name is Brandon Aker. I'm the owner and pharmacist here at Aker Family Pharmacy in Maumelle. So here in our pharmacy, we like to focus on a hyper-personalized relationship with our patients, and that continues into our service sets. So we offer free delivery, curbside vaccinations, as well as custom compounded medications, including extended hours as well. I think you don't know the level of intimacy that you're going to get with your patients until you really get in it, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
All right, welcome back, Hornets fans, to Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza. And guys, make sure you come over and visit our friends here at American Pie Pizza, 9709 Maumelle Boulevard, or head to www.americanpiepizza.net and get yours. All right, Coach, had to pull you away from your food over there. Let you give you a minute to swallow. We've devoured the chicken bacon ranch pizza. We're getting close to the wings, and I know the guys over there enjoying some pizzas, so I'll let you get everything down and swallowed.
No, I recommend this pizza. This is my favorite so far.
Yeah, the chicken bacon ranch is really good. All right, so week 3, we get to take our talents out of state. And we heard from these two guys. They look excited to be able to go down and represent for the state of Arkansas, but the rest of the team seem really excited about this trip.
Absolutely. So far, we've had a tough non-conference schedule. Sylvan Hills, Robinson, Vilonia are all really good teams. And CE Byrd, very good team as well. But, the atmosphere the last 3 weeks has been kind of like a playoff atmosphere. It hasn't felt like, week 0, 1, and 2. And this won't either. Traveling out of state, playing at Lee Hedges Stadium, which is, a community coliseum, if you will, kind of like War Memorial is here. And so it's a cool situation. The kids are off Thursday and Friday from school. So they get the college experience, if you will. They get to travel and play and get a break from school for a minute.
Well, I know it's going to be an exciting trip. I've had an opportunity to talk with some of the folks down there with Byrd, and they're excited about us coming down. I know that, and a lot of information. I was actually really surprised. Was talking to a couple of their radio guy, and I'm trying to pull his name up again in front of me now that I've done forgot it. But anyway, some good stuff. Got some good preview stuff. So if you need some extra information, I think I have it over here for you, Coach. So there's no hiding. This is a really, really good Yellow Jacket team. Undefeated last year, but they only returned 5 starters from that team, and they had a coaching change in the offseason. So talk about what you know about this team. I know a little bit. They seem similar to what Sylvan Hills does.
Well, they run a similar offense. They have 92 on the roster, which is, concerning us. We have 60. So our style of play has to adjust to that to a degree. The numbers differential. That's why you have different classifications in high school, is to make sure that people are on an even playing field. So if you look at it like that, they're a much larger school than us. But, they're talented. We're talented. We think it's going to be a good game. We also think it's going to be a great opportunity to get better.
Yeah, I think that's the big key, and it's interesting getting to see, again, this style of offense, and I think what's really going to be a difference in this one, and this is not to take anything away from Gavin Tyner at Sylvan Hills, but this guy, this quarterback who they affectionately named Shreveport's Great Lake, Lake Lambert, he's coming off a huge monster campaign as a sophomore, and he's a pretty good passer out of that system as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, when you're able to run the ball as effectively as they are out of the flex bone and a couple of different sets that they run, when they pull up and pass, it's a big shock. And so their quarterback's definitely capable of in the passing game and in the play action passing game especially.
Yeah, and you mentioned kind of running back a little bit, but at running back they are very talented. Senior Mitchell Ramsey's a good one, and he pairs well with fullback Devin Strickland. Both have combined for just over 450 yards on just 57 carries this year.
Well, absolutely. We're gonna have a work cut out for us to stop them in the run game, but them being able to pass the ball as well. It's not like you can just hone in on one aspect.
Is this a week where maybe the talent, obviously we've talked to Max Pace, and we know what you've got on the backside. We know how talented really from front to back this defense is, but is this maybe a week where we lean on that defensive line a little bit?
Well, I mean, we always lean on our defense because we know they're talented and they do a good job for us. But offense is going to have to handle their business too, and not just for a half this time. So we're putting some new wrinkles in this week. We're trying to get complete as an offense as far as being able to check into some things and be able to make it pre-snap adjustments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and big key there. Obviously, this is a very good Byrd defense as well. They've only given up 17 points total so far in their first 2 games, only 8 in the second half total through 2 games. What is the key to getting the offense going early on?
Well, I don't want to tell all our game plan here, but you know, for us, it's just operating effectively and efficiently and being quick. Seeing things pre-snap helps. You know, you get a head start that way. And, you know, so we're going to have to be in tune with that. We're going to have to survey the field, and we're going to have to execute our plays with quickness.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We're obviously going to be making the trip as well, so you'll be able to see the game live on Natural State Sports, and so we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to being down there. I've talked, like I said, I've talked to their radio guy. I've talked to several folks associated with the Byrd program. I know that the press box is going to be full of food. So, Coach, that's a challenge to you that October 1st, you know, that you've got something really good in our press box, because I think they're bringing walk-ons, man.
Well, I tell you, once October 1st gets here and we actually get to play on our own field, I will spare no expense. We will take care of it. It will be a great environment once we finally get to play at home.
We're gonna party hard on that field on October. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. On that point, I haven't had a chance to run by there. Is the turf down? How does it look?
The turf's down. The district people have a walkthrough on Thursday. It may actually be done tomorrow.
Okay.
So you know. I say finally, but you know, we need it. You know, we need it. We're tired of practicing on the grass field. We're tired of bussing at practice, and you know, we've had enough of that. We're ready to be on our own field, and it looks amazing. I mean, the whole structure of it, the colors, the design, it's awesome. I can't wait till we get to play on it.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight, and appreciate our players of the game, Jason Crawford and Max Pace. We're going to wrap up tonight's Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza. I want to give a big thanks to the folks here for hosting us tonight. Be sure to come by and see them this week, as well as our other sponsors, Cornerstone Home Lending, Akel's Wholesale, Acre Pharmacy, PI Roofing, the Brooke Brolo Agency, and McClarty Nissan. For Natural State Sports, I'm Steve Henson, and this has been Hornets